Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at FTF Super Speedway as we get ready for heat number 1 for the race before the chase. As I stare into the dog's eyes, she is looking right at me, right next to my chair. So as we get ready, we have never come here before, and the racing is sure to be crazy. You can see that we got safer barriers. Running the day version here today. This track is 5.2 miles long, and I think this is the longest track we're running at this season because St. Jolta's is like 4.97. So the pace car will head down pit road. You got Kerry Davis, Kate Rogers, Michael Parker, May Ryder, Michael Cavanero, Austin Ells, Ryan Shea, Tony Green, with Nicholas Samudio and Logan York. The top 5 rows there. Some drivers, if they make it, it could be a shot at a win and making the chase. Others, if they miss it, they are done. Some of those drivers do include Andrew Rich and Peggy Bowling. Some of the top non-winning drivers so far this season. Also, Steve Cavallo. Cavallo is 7th in points, but there is a small chance he could possibly fall outside that top 10 if he does not make the race. Now you got to watch everything. This is a 5-lap race as they drag it down this straightaway. This is a 5-lap race. No caution flags. Pit stops will probably not happen. It's 2X. But we have never ran here before, and I'm so curious how the racing will be. As you can see how crazy they move back and forth. Davis and Parker on the top side. Now here comes Michael Cavanero, going to make it 3 wide. Parker in the middle is not getting any draft help. As lap 1 is done, Kerry Davis led that lap somehow. So from the look of things, this could be a crazy drag race type of track in a way. So far, everybody's still alive. It takes them about 1:20 to get around this track at speeds of 240 plus miles per hour. And I think it could come down to if they crash or not. If they don't crash, where you started might be what decides if you make it or not. Kerry Davis in front of the 81 now. Kerry Davis doing what he needs to do to maybe have a chance, though I believe he might be outside the top 40 in points. As Michael Cavanero is. As Michael just led that lap. Barely. So everybody's still alive. As you can see back here, who would not make the race? Peggy Bowling right now. Carol Morton. We've already... So Carol Morton won back at Bristol Dirt, but Carol Morton is outside the top 40, and she is far enough away from the 40th place that she cannot make up the points that she would need to get in the top 40. So Carol Morton will not be in the chase this season. Zachary Rogers is back here. Peter Sands is back here. Steve Cavallo is back here a little bit. And you know Andrew Rich right now is probably just thinking, just let me survive. Just let me survive. Please give me a shot. Because he was doing good last week at Puco, but then he got into the wall because that grassy area over there just drags your car right off the track. So Andrew wants to just be able to make the race, survive, and hopefully maybe go for a victory. as I believe it's going to be a 20-lap event. I'm not entirely sure. But right now, this heat race is showing you how tricky it's going to be to make passes at this track. It could come down to pit stops, honestly. Inside line pulling up a little bit. You see Samudio, though. You see you can gain spots, but it takes time because Samudio started in 9th, and he is up to 3rd now. But Kerry Davis has not fallen off at all. But actually now Kerry loses the draft, and that will send Michael into the lead. As basically that seems to be what happens, is if you lose the draft for about a good 5 seconds, that is what causes passing. So nobody has wrecked, though. I'd say that's a big surprise for me. And I'm wondering what the drafting distance is on, because I think we're going to increase that. Because this is just a bit too much close drafting. White flag out here at FTF for heat number 1. Michael Cavanero in the lead, who was out that last lap. Adam Rogers, Brandon Mellon, Edwin Mendez, Tony Vieira, Deanna Jones, Jim Moore III, Carol Morton, Peter Sands, and Peggy Bowling. So Scott Greeny, Zachary Rogers side by side for 21st right now. Bowling looking to go into that spot. And let's talk about Tony Green right here. Tony maybe in danger of getting knocked out of the heat, as you see Peggy Bowling moves right to the bumper of the 3. So that sends Greeny outside, and now Tony Green is now in that catbird seat. Tony is 40th in the point standings with a win. And even being in the top 40 right now, the bottom 2 winners, Tony Green and Austin Alves, because Carvalho was in the top 10 without a win, and we have 25 winners in the top 40, Tony Green and Austin Alves would not make the chase. So Tony wants to make the race. I think Austin's good to go. The 3 wide up front. Michael Cavanero is going to win the heat race. Now, where this drivers come down to it. So Michael Cavanero wins heat number 1. Tony Green does make it in. Peggy Bowling makes it in. So Scott Greeny, Peter Sands, Carol Morton, Tony Vieira, Brandon Mellon, Edwin Mendez, Adam Rogers, Jim Morton III, and Deanna Jones will not make the last race before the chase. I'll see you guys shortly for heat number 2. Getting ready for heat number 2. Green flag is out. Eric Caralla, Keith Rich, Benjamin Tilton, Ace Rogers, Michael Rogers, Peyton Gooden, Greg Lyons, James Morton, Philip Tringali, and Dylan Young. Those are your top 5 rows. So top 10 starting guys. Changed up the settings just a tweaky little bit. Took out some drag. Moved the drafting distance from 1.5 to 1.4. Moved up the squeeze percentage from 0% to 25%. And the slip curve, so the slip curve angle went down from 0.95 to 0.85 for the day track. And the night track, I made it so that they're a little faster because it is nighttime, so they'll be faster. They are 4 wide almost. Look out. This has definitely provided more racing, and they are going faster too. I'm seeing speeds over 250 miles per hour now since we took out some drag. And that is allowing them to make more passes. You see Greg Lyons looking to get to the race lead here. Now Philip Tringali looking to make it 3 wide. Whoa! Lyons leads it at the line for lap number 1. We didn't see a crash in heat 1. When we're at a super speedway, that usually means they're going to crash in heat number 2. Also, just for a heads up, I will be getting an and I won't be doing this today. I'll be doing this while this race is uploading. I will be looking at the point standings again, and I will be writing down who can't make the chase based on this, this, and this. And then also I'll have all my scenarios set up. So that'll take some time before I do the main. And then for those listening, the Code Red Series signups will be coming after the main race here at FTF. I'll hopefully put a time up for that, when that will go up. Anyway, Eric Harala, Greg Lyons. Some drivers still have to choose their Code Red rides because they got reserves. But yeah, I'm bringing back pretty much every series. So Lyons and Harala are still side by side. So the racing hasn't changed that much. Everybody's still in the race. Oh, they're a little bit 4 wide right here. Mike Mellon's going to back off. But now Pericles to the inside. Oh, I don't like that at all. But they keep it clean. So Eric doing a really good job. It seems the higher up you start, the better chance you got at maybe staying up front. Two laps to go here at FTF. And now here's the thing I'd like to point out. So in Heat 1, they were going around here at about 1:18 a lap. This heat, they're going around 1:15. That's what happens when you take away drag, boys and girls. Single file did a bit up, and Lyons to the bottom. Lions have more draft that time or not, I wasn't really sure. He didn't really get enough draft because Philip Tringali moved up to help the 07. So drivers changing lanes for sure here this weekend. And it's all going to come down to pit stops in my mind. Because when these guys come to pit road, it will separate the field up a little bit. And it could allow you to draft up to somebody and just pass them on your own. White flag is out. Greg Lyons is going to take the lead back here over Eric Harala. So who is out that lap was Kevin Peeler, Dylan Young, Mike Millen, Michael Santos, Michael Beeson, Karen Vieira, Zachary Fitzwater, Michael Amato, and Allison Rogers. With Benjamin Dion, Alan Cavanero, Sam Rogers, Nick Pericles, Keith Rich, and Sean Harple kind of on the edge. Peyton Goodwin put in the middle, 3 wide. We've seen what happens when you lose draft, and now Robert Rogers drafts to 21. And now Colby Alves. Colby's side by side, and they're going to wreck here in the last lap. Philip Tringali, Robert Rogers, more cars up ahead. Everybody's wrecking. Fitzwater, Alan Cavanero, Tilton, Allison Rogers, Dylan Young. That was pretty much everybody. Greg Lyons and Eric Harala are by themselves racing for the lead. What the heck? Eric's going to pull back in front to take the win. Greg Lyons, Sean Harple, Nathan Rogers, Karen Vieira. That is your top 5. Who else comes around? Robert Rogers will come around in 6th. Michael Amato comes home 7th. We can see John Linares, Kevin Peeler. That'll be 9th and 10th. That is the 8th and 9th. Torrey Travis, 10th. Philip Tringali, Sam Rogers, 11th and 12th. Everybody else down pit road, so we're going to have to wait. Ace Rogers has retired. Peyton Goodwin has retired. Keith Rich, Benjamin Dion, Dylan Young. So Dylan Young, Dion, they're not going to make it. Colby Alves has retired. So it really just depends where they call the race official. If they retired, and there it is. The race has just been called official. Michael Rogers with an oil pump. Now, it doesn't matter that these guys are all 1 laps down and they technically finished the race on pit road because they just decided we'll call it official. So, Dylan Young, Mike Mellon, Michael Santos, Zach Fitzwater, Allison Rogers, Benjamin Dion, Alan Cavanero, Nick Pericles, and Keith Rich will not be in the main. And if we have a crash like that in the main, oh boy. Let's take a look at that one more time before we end this video. Alright, so this is going to be tricky to do, but this basically happened. We saw Robert, we saw Colby, and then Gadu was looking down low, and I guess Colby tried to give him room, but entering the turn side by side, trying to give the 12 car room, and you're on the inside pushing the other guy up, is not a good idea. Now we saw Robert go up, and then we see these guys, they clip Philip Tringali. Colby comes right back down, and then this is where they start bunny hopping. Yep, see they bunny hop Gadu, Nico Tringali. That sends them in the wall. Caleb Hoffman, Torrey Travis. See Philip Tringali, Robert Rogers are still wrecked. Allison Rogers is going to hop. Pericles hops. Look at the 09 hop up. Alan Cavanero hops up into the 11. At this point, let's pause this. You see Fitzwater goes to hop up. James Morton continuing the hop on his own. He just gets in the fence. And that wrecks him. Santos is going to hop up right into the 20, Dylan Young. And this is just one of the multiple ways that we're going to have everybody just wreck out. And James going to go for a barrel roll? Oh, yeah. James Morton goes for a barrel roll. But that is just nuts. Those that were able to drive away are lucky. And then Eric Caralla won the race. But that's just crazy. Look, from where Eric crossed the line, there's Lyons Harple. There's Nate. There's Karen. Robert. Like, what the heck? Is it me or is John Linares bunny hopping right here? Yep. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, that is craziness. But I'll see you for the main. It's the San Francisco 49ers, $4.99. See you guys for that.